we appreciate you being on the 2021 International March for Babies kickoff call for Building Stronger Fathers. So we are going to get started, and I am going to introduce our International Director of Social Action, Brother Dr. Michael Baisley.
Thanks, Brother Williams. Thank you to you and Brother Hughes and Ms. Repick and the people of March of Dimes, and to the brothers on the call. I see a lot of brothers who are on our Stronger Fathers call, and now we have our March of Dimes kickoff. We did really well last year in terms of there being a pandemic. We actually came in about 2,000 ahead of 2019. And now I see brothers are really ready to kick into high gear and go into this year and really fully reclaim our momentum and do a great job for this, one of our longest running partnerships at about 50 years, and one of our 2 conclave mandated activities. We have the March of Dimes, and then we have the Living Well brother to brother modules. So I'm just excited that I see about 55 people have tuned in, and that's great. We got brothers from chapters, we got international general board members. I saw Brother Murray and Brother Busby, and I see a couple of my regional directors of social action. So everybody's making the effort to get on here and really get us started on a good note. And so tonight we're gonna hear all about the program and see how we can be really successful and competitive. It's gonna be my pleasure to introduce Brother Ray to speak. I don't know if he's made it on yet. Brother Ray, are you on? If you are, please let me know.
I'm not showing him on right yet, so we'll just keep an eye out for him, and when he gets in, we'll just pause and let him bring greetings, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Well, just a shout out to Brother Ray, who was an outstanding proponent of the March of Dimes in his role as a International Social Action Director just prior to me. And so I took the baton from him, and we're gonna be running hard through this year to have a great outcome. So I believe, Meredith, I'll be introducing you, or Carlos.
I think Carlos will take it from here. Thank you, Dr. Baisley.
Okay, and so we'll bring back Brother Williams, who's co-coordinator internationally, along with Brother Ira Hughes, and we thank them greatly for all the work that they do. So Brother Williams, take it away.
All right, thank you. As I said, I am the international co-chair of our partnership with the March of Dimes, along with Brother Ira Hughes, who has done a lot of hard work with this partnership as well. I don't see him on the call yet, but we'll probably hear from him later. And now I want to introduce someone that everyone knows, Meredith Repick from the March of Dimes.
Hello to all of you. I wish I was in person with you at regional meetings where I get to hug your necks, but I'm glad to see you all here. So many familiar faces. It's been a real pleasure to work with Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And poor Carlos gets to hear from me and listen to me every week. So it's a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. And I'm excited to kick off your pep rally for March for Babies. So with that, I'm going to launch into our case for support at the March of Dimes. Many of you have been around for a very long time with over 50 years of partnership, but I did want to just pause and bring you up to speed as to what the case for support at the March of Dimes is today. As you know, the US is among the most dangerous developed nations in which to give birth, especially if you're Black. Black women are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. Black babies are twice as likely to die before their first birthday, and this is not their fault. There is a higher chance of maternal death or preterm birth based on race. Take alone maternal death and preterm birth rates in the US, that they are so alarming. When you factor in race, the story gets even more dire. There is a health equity gap in the United States, and moms and babies are at risk. The March of Dimes is stepping up to change these numbers and make an impact on health equity, and March for Babies is how you can support this work. So I'm going to hand it over to Carlos to talk us through Building Stronger Fathers and all the wonderful things you do with our partnership.
All right, thank you. Next slide, please. So, as most brothers probably know, this is our very first partnership, ever in Phi Beta Sigma. And it was with the March of Dimes. And this is a vital part of our international social action program. And I think we're going on 50 years old now with this partnership. So, Building Stronger Fathers, what is it? It is chapter, state, and region programs promoting fatherhood and mentoring. And one of the new things that we're doing this year is virtual workshops for becoming and being a dad, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So we're also here to talk about March for Babies. And as you know, typically we have walks, we do the Mile of Dimes, we host fundraising events, and a lot of chapters have used their imagination to develop their own fundraisers. Next slide, please. So the virtual workshops, what are they? Chapters from all over the country are conducting virtual workshops with dads in the communities they serve. These workshops will prepare the dads to actually become fathers and give guidance to men who already are dads. If your chapter would like to conduct a virtual workshop, please contact your regional director of social action. So, next slide, please. Okay, sorry about that. So, what have we been doing year over year? In 2020, we actually had a great year because we raised more in 2020 during the pandemic than we did in 2019, as you can see by this graph. Our highest year was 2018, where we raised $178,000, which is outstanding. So we're going to hopefully continue this trend and go back up. Next slide, please. So our March for Babies totals for FY 2020, these are the totals, right? This is the breakdown. We raised $133,166. And these are the totals per region. And brothers, I know y'all are trying to take notes, but we will send out these slides to all of you after this presentation. And next slide, please.
Sorry, I was congratulating everybody on the fabulous work.
No problem. These are the March for Babies region winners for 2020. And as you can see, all of the regions participated. And if you see a region with no collegiates, it is because no collegiates participated from that particular region. But these are outside, excuse me.
Wonderful. Big shout out to all of you. Alumni chapters, collegiate chapters, fabulous work. Thank you all for a record-breaking year in 2020 as we all lived through a pandemic. So great work to every one of you, and we're excited to see what you have in store for 2021.
Thank you for that, Meredith. I was having some technical difficulties. Next slide. So this is where we are now. And this year, 2021, we have raised in total $35,538 as of March the 7th. And this is great because we are actually $18,000 over this time last year, okay, in the middle of the pandemic, when the pandemic was actually jumping off. So this is outstanding. And as we can see right now, the Western region is beating everyone at least by double numbers, which is amazing. So great work to the Western region and all the other regions that have been participating so far. Next slide, please. So what is our goal for 2021? Our goal is $200,000, and we can get there, right? Because from the others graph that we showed, we got close, a few years ago. So in order to reach $200,000, we need all chapters, collegiate and alumni, to be involved with March for Babies or make a donation, okay? And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why that is important a little bit later. Next slide, please. So I get calls all the time from the regions asking, well, what is our regional goal? How much are we supposed to be raising? So these are the regional goals for 2021. And these numbers are broken down by membership in each region, okay? So it's prorated by membership numbers. And if each region meets their goal, we will be over $200,000. Okay, so this is very attainable. Next slide, please. So, okay. Now, in 2021, this is why all of this is important. We have launched with March for Babies and Sigma Gamma Rho, the first ever Phi Beta Sigma Sigma Gamma Rho challenge. And for those of you that are not familiar with this rivalry, the sorors of Zeta Phi Beta actually have a competition challenge, if you will, each year with the men of Alpha Phi Alpha, right? And for the past, I want to say 4 years, the Zetas have been wiping the floor with the Alphas year after year. So this year, someone had the grand idea that actually Sigma Gamma Rho and Phi Beta Sigma should get into a similar challenge, right? So the easy thing about this challenge is that we can win it. All we have to do is raise more money than Sigma Gamma Rho. Okay, so this is actually a national challenge. Their national organization is all in on this. And, we want the brothers to step up and actually, not make us look bad with the Sigma Gamma Rhos. Okay, so please raise money for healthy babies. Next slide, please. And I am going to pass it off to Meredith to tell us exactly how to do that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carlos. I appreciate it. Great excitement. Congratulations, Western Region, on leading the pack. I have a feeling the others are going to be right behind you starting this evening. Congratulations to all of the chapters and regions from 2020. Amazing work. And we're really excited to see all that you're going to do in 2021. So our leader, Chris Ray, has joined the call. So I think it would be a great time for him to share his words to get us kicked off on this Mother of a Movement campaign, as well as the launch of our new challenge between Phi Beta Sigma fraternity incorporated in Sigma Gamma Rho sorority. So Chris, I'm going to hand it over to you to bring greetings.
Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yes, we can hear you.
There we go. There we go. I apologize. Thank you so much, Meredith. So good to see you, of course. To the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma, I apologize for my tardiness, but they overbooked me tonight. So I'm just jumping from event to event on behalf of this organization that I love so much. But of course, I'm glad to be here this evening. And of course, as we kick off our events tonight for the March of Dimes, as many as you all know, the March of Dimes is our very first and of course our oldest partnership ever that we established back in the 1980s, and so it spans over 80 years of our relationship, building stronger fathers. And so I am proud of that relationship, and I know that the brothers and all the resources that we have raised for the March of Dimes over that time period. As you all know, in 2020, during the global pandemic, we still continue to be intentional, and we raised, of course, and I know that it was stated earlier, over $132,000 because healthy babies in our communities are important to the men of Phi Beta Sigma. And so as we as men, Brotherhood of Conscious Men, as we continue to move forward, I'm excited about this new campaign. I know that the men of Phi Beta Sigma is going to step up and we will not allow Sigma Gamma Rho to be the organization that is going to take advantage of us. We're going to make sure that we win this challenge. And when we do it, we're going to do it big. As you all know, March for Babies starts in April of 2021 and ends in July of 2021. So that means that we have to roll up our sleeves over the next few months and really, really get to work and make this happen. Now, I'm really excited about the work that Brother Dr. Baisley is doing. And as we begin to launch the Becoming Being a Dad, the virtual workshops, this is going to be a great space for us to be in as an organization. Really, really excited about it. And as we begin to not only prepare our members on becoming fathers, but also educating the community around what becoming a father is, and understanding that if there's challenges that they have during those pregnancies with their significant other, that it is critical that they know the resources and the organization that they can turn to in order to make sure that they have the support that's necessary, because that's what we do. Every man of Phi Beta Sigma has a mother. And everyone knows that the challenges that especially African-American women have when it comes to pregnancy. And so it is our key that the money that we raise as an organization goes to that research, to making sure that that the March of Dime continues to be innovative in finding ways to make sure that they save the lives of all women, but especially African-American women that are being impacted by this. So I'm excited about this new challenge. I'm excited about our continued relationship with the March of Dimes. And I have no doubt that the men of Phi Beta Sigma is going to be on top, and we'll let Sigma Gamma Rho know that there's only one Sigma, and that's Phi Beta Sigma. So thank you guys so very much. And you can tell Rashida, the international president, I said that. So looking forward to it. Thank you so much, guys. I'm looking forward to us moving forward.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's great to have you tonight. Thank you so much for your words. We are super excited about the campaign this year. And we just want to thank you all for joining us tonight for our official March for Babies Pep Up rally. This meeting really represents the heart of March for Babies within Phi Beta Sigma. And we're so thankful that you've joined us tonight and you've joined the mother of a movement. So at this time, I'm going to stop sharing. We have a quick video to share with you. So I'm going to let my IT team take it away.
Our country is facing an urgent health crisis. Join March for Babies and be part of a movement for change. Moms and babies need us all to come together. The U.S. remains among the most dangerous developed nations for childbirth, especially for women and babies of color. And preterm birth and maternal death rates are on the rise. We need to unite, connect, and fight for families now. March for Babies helps you lift up communities for health equity, open the door for all moms to have access to care, protect the health of families through advocacy, and take action to make America a more equitable place. This year, March for Babies has a bold new vision. Join the movement and rally with millions of Americans to make a difference for generations to come. Together, let's be part of something big. March for Babies, a mother of a movement to fight for the health of all moms and babies. Sign up now at marchforbabies.org.
Great. Thank you so much. So none of us could really have anticipated the year that 2020 would become. COVID-19 turned our lives upside down. Let's just be honest here. But that didn't stop us from fighting for the health of all families. Throughout all the challenges, we still brought people together. We focused on critical issues facing moms and babies, and we worked to make the country a more equitable space. It's thanks to supporters and members like Phi Beta Sigma fraternity that help us to accomplish all of these things. Although we've made a lot of progress, there's still a lot of work to be done. With preterm birth rates on the rise, the U.S. continuing to remain as one of the most dangerous developed nations for childbirth, we need to unite, we need to connect, and we need to fight for families now. By growing our March for Babies teams, we can make an even larger impact in 2021. Tonight is really about inspiring each other to launch this season of March for Babies, and we're going to get to together make this our best year yet. So March for Babies isn't just a community celebration, a one-day, one-time-a-year walk, or even a fundraising event. It's all of these things and so much more. And we've reimagined March for Babies, and we're excited to share with you tonight, hot off the press, the new look of March for Babies. So we're going to go ahead and share with you some of those images. So the first one is the image, a mother of a movement to fight for the health of all moms and babies. This year, March for Babies has a bold new vision. After 50 years as the largest fundraiser for March of Dimes, as well as the nation's oldest charitable walk, we pivoted in 2020 to virtualize the event. However, in response to the global pandemic, the shift was in reality the natural evolution of March for Babies to be something bigger and bolder. Today, it's more than just a walk. It's March for Babies, a mother of a movement. We need you to join us in being part of this larger movement for change, with unstoppable momentum to make America a more equitable place and ensure that every mom and baby is healthy. More than just a walk, March for Babies is your entry into making a visible difference in your community now and for generations to come. By joining in this movement, you're lifting up communities for health equity, opening the doors for all moms to have access to care, and protecting the health of families by pushing for their rights. Together, let's be a part of something big. So, March for Babies, as I mentioned, is so much more than just a fundraising walk. It gives us the opportunity to honor moms and babies, raise critical funds to support them, give hope to moms and babies for the best possible start, and come together around one common mission to create change and share experiences. So we're going to do 4 simple steps. Decide to be a March for Babies team captain. Sign up your team at Phi Beta Sigma, and Carlos is going to go through that in just a little bit, but you still have your customized web link that we want you to sign up for, but we want you to prepare now for a successful March for Babies team. So in order to do that, we need to recruit fundraising team members. That is a critical piece of the campaign. So first, I want you to ask yourself the question, do you know someone who's been impacted by the March of Dimes? If you know how to use the reactions tab, you can type in a reaction there with a thumbs up. If any of you want to do that, do you know of someone who's been impacted by the March of Dimes? Do you know someone who's a leader in their company or in your social circle, or someone who loves to change lives for the better? Let's take a moment and just brainstorm who you're going to call. Which 10 people are you going to ask to be on your team? Do you have their phone number? You can text them. Can you email them? I want you to start thinking of at least 10 people you invite to join your March for Babies team this year. And I want you to write them down. Now, I know the first person I'm going to ask to be on my team is probably my husband or maybe an old college roommate, but that's my first teammate. Now, who's your first teammate? I want you to invite that first person to your team and ask them to join your team. Remember that all the money that your teammates raise goes to your overall March for Babies team donation. So the more team members you have, the more successful you'll be. Also remember that they don't have to be members of Phi Beta Sigma to be on your team. So this is a great way for you to get your community involved and show them Phi Beta Sigma, again, giving back to the communities that they live and serve. Always a key tip to fundraising is to make your personal donation first. $25 on your March for Babies page is a great way to get started. I also highly encourage you to use the app. There's a March for Babies app that has a lot of great resources for you. And then the the Facebook fundraiser is a super easy way to get involved. Shout out your friends. When one of your friends gives a donation, share their photo with a thank you message, so on and so forth. So I want you to keep that list of 10 people handy to you. As you ask people to join your team, if they say no, add somebody else to the team. Again, these can be coworkers, family members, neighbors, friends, to really help you build up your team. So I'm going to now just ask you all a question real quick. So I'm going to launch a poll and ask you, have you set your March for Babies goal yet this year? If you'll just respond there on the screen. Oh, we got 6, 7, 8 yeses. Anybody setting their goal this week? Not set their goal, but tonight's going to inspire them to do so. All right. It's just a pop-up on your screen if you see it. If you don't see it, you can always type it in the chat. The question is, have you set your March for Babies goal yet? And the answer is yes, no, or setting my goal this week. Great. So we've got 38%. We've got 59% of you that have voted. So I'm going to end the poll and share the results. Carlos, it looks like we're on our way to success. A lot of your teams have already set their goals this year. So that is fantastic. All right. So I'm going to hand it over now to Carlos to talk about the fundraising page and how to get your team signed up with the correct naming convention. So Carlos.
All right. Thank you for that, Meredith. So I get calls all the time when, regions and brothers, they say, okay, well, I turned in some money or my chapter turned in some money. I just want to verify that it's there. Okay. Phi Beta Sigma is a national service partner with March for Babies, right? And the March of Dimes. So what that means is that we get this very fancy March for Babies page just for us. Okay. So if you write down this link or screenshot the page, whenever you go to this link, marchforbabies.org/Phi Beta Sigma, you can see in real time how much we have raised total as a fraternity. You can also see the top teams in real time and the top fundraisers, the top brothers that are fundraisers, okay? And what's really cool about this page is that you can actually search by region, by state, all the way down to your chapter to see if March for Babies has received your funds, okay? So this is a very, very powerful resource for chapters and for brothers to see, exactly where their funds are. Also, you go to that page to actually sign up your chapter team, okay? So that page is very important. So in order to form a team, okay, you register your chapter at marchforbabies.org/Phi Beta Sigma. Now, a lot of times brothers or, these chapters are using nicknames for chapter names, right? I see Mile High Sigmas all the time and a few other ones. What is it? It's one other one that has dark in it or something. But this is the naming convention that chapters are supposed to use. When you register your team, you type in Phi Beta Sigma dash and your chapter name. Okay, so my chapter is Delta Mu Sigma. So when I register my team, I put in Phi Beta Sigma dash Delta Mu Sigma. And what happens is that each week I get a report from the March of Dimes. And then we have to reconcile that report. And it's very easy if we all use the same naming convention. Okay, that way we can make sure that Phi Beta Sigma as a fraternity gets credit for the money that your chapter raises. Okay, another way to raise funds outside of the website, you can actually just make a donation via the March for Babies website, or you can mail it in. Now, when you do, still use the same naming convention. March for Babies, Phi Beta Sigma, dash your chapter name. That way, when they input it into the system, we can find those funds and give you credit for that money on behalf of the fraternity. Next slide, please.
Carlos, can I just pop in? I know this isn't
Sure.
planned, but can I just pop in
No,
with
that's
one
fine.
quick thing? The one thing I also want to reiterate here is if your team is not named this, please don't create a new team, because when you create a new team, your history goes away. And I know we have a couple people on the phone tonight that I've talked to, personally. So if you go every year and start a new team, your history doesn't stay with you for what you've done. So if your team is not named Phi Beta Sigma dash in your chapter name, and it's Mile High Sigmas, just contact myself or Carlos and we can get your name changed to Phi Beta Sigma, and all your history will stay with you. All right, I just wanted to say that.
And it's some questions in the chat. We're going to send these slides out to everyone that is registered on this call. Okay, we're going to send the slides out after the call. All right, so this slide should actually say 2021 chapter incentives. That's my bad. But for the chapters that are high performing chapters and go above and beyond, we actually have awards that chapters receive each year at the regional conferences and at the conclave. There's recognition on social media and in the Crescent magazine. You get your regional recognition as well as international awards. And then the March of Dimes has Circle of Champions and all these other nice gifts for brothers that go out and go above and beyond for healthy babies. Next slide, please.
Yeah,
go ahead, Meredith.
I'm going to just kind of go through some of the key dates. So today's our national kickoff. We're encouraging you to set your chapter kickoff date. These slides, as Carlos said, will be available to you. You can take this slide deck and just repurpose it at your next chapter meeting. That's why we wanted to make this easy for you. And then April, you want to go ahead and launch. Oh, there's Michael Baisley's Circle of Champions. I love it. Good job. So April, we're going to launch some encourage you to launch some challenges. So if you want to do, the individual that raises $50 by Friday, put all their names in a hat and do a drawing for, a $10 gift card, something like that. Those are some chapter ideas that we want you to try to think about doing some local challenges within your chapter, region, or state. We've got a step up challenge that'll happen around Mother's Day. June 30th is the deadline for all dollars for our national recognition event on July 21st. So that does not mean you have to stop fundraising by then, but for the national award ceremony, it will be based off of dollars raised on June 30th. Phi Beta Sigma's campaign runs from January 1st to December 31st. So you have the year to collect funds for your awards that were on the previous slide. But for March of Dimes, for the awards we're doing, we have this new National March for Babies Mother of a Movement award celebration. It will be virtual, but it'll be off dollars that are turned in by June 30th. So to talk a little bit about some of the tools and resources.
Hey, Meredith.
Yes.
I'm sorry to jump in. A brother asked a good question. He asked in the chat, the naming convention for his chapter is good, but he wants to change his team captain. Can he do that on our page, or do you have to do it?
Whoever the team captain is, when they register, they have the option to pick as that they're a team captain.
But I think they want to change the team captain.
Yeah, we can do that. And yeah, I'll take it offline for sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
So by joining March for Babies, a mother of a movement, you're really lifting up communities for health equity, opening the doors for all moms to have access, as we've already mentioned. But I just want to share with you a couple of really great tools. You can always decide to be a team captain after you leave tonight. At marchforbabies.org, you're going to find great resources, some similar to what you see on the screen right now. Sample emails, social sharing tools, fundraising tips, and inspiring stories to help recruit and sign on and boost your supporters. In the FAQ section of the website, you'll find instructions on how to link your Facebook fundraiser to your fundraising page to receive credit for the dollars that you've raised there. The tips and tools provided on marchforbabies.org make it super fast and easy, and they significantly impact your team's success. So I know we have questions coming in. I'm going to hold them all to the end. I'm going to keep getting through this so that we have a solid time to answer those questions for those people that don't have questions and just want to get their information and scoot on to their next meeting, like Chris Ray probably. Okay, so a couple things. Last year, an amazing job, over $134,000, $33,000 that Phi Beta Sigma raised. Totally incredible. We weren't expecting it. We were blown away. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have a new loyalty program this year to reward your efforts to support our mission. There's going to be a special recognition and thanks at both the local level and the national level. I just mentioned the national level, but I want to go ahead and show you, when you sign up for March for Babies and you donate $25, you're going to get a March of Dimes magnet. You can put it on your car, you can put it on your refrigerator, you can put it wherever you'd like, but you automatically get mailed from our national vendor a magnet. You register and you raise $25. When you raise $100, then you will get an email from our vendor to order your shirt and have your shirt mailed to your home. So if you're used to going to a March for Babies event, remember we're virtual. As an organization that's focused on the health of moms and babies, we do not, our medical director does not deem it safe for us to pull people together at this time. So the t-shirts will be shipped individually to your home when you hit that $100 level, okay? So I hope you all will try to do that. When you hit the $250 level, you're going to get an email from the vendor to make a customized yard sign for you to put in your yard. You will get the opportunity to customize this sign with "We Celebrate," your team's name, a photo, and you get to build this out however you want. So when you raise $250, you get your own customized yard sign. And then just to kind of move on from there, back to, I saw Michael Baisley's Circle of Champions. Our Circle of Champions are really, really important to us. They're a vital part of March for Babies. Entering the Circle of Champions is a special honor given to walkers who raise the bar on fundraising. We highlight Circle of Champions who have raised $1,000 or more. They become our Circle of Champions. And we are super excited this year that when you hit the $1,000 level, you're going to get a walk in a box filled with all the things you need to host your own walk, 2 March of Dimes masks, balloons, 2 superhero capes, confetti, and more. I'm personally going to try to be a Circle of Champion member this year. I have been in years past, and I'm excited to have my neighbors and friends come out and safely walk in my neighborhood to celebrate March for Babies this year. So I'm hoping that I can personally count on a couple of my friends with Phi Beta Sigma to join me this year in the Circle of Champions. Now, as you know, we're looking for team captains. We'd love for everyone to be in the Circle of Champions. We need your leadership to spread the word and engage others to join the movement. An effective way to do that is sharing your story on social media. With a few clicks, you can send out messages and photos to explain your connection to the March of Dimes. Your involvement will inspire others immediately and motivate them to get involved. So at this time, we're going to watch one more video, and then we will give you open up for questions. Great. Thank you, Patricia. Okay. So let me get back to sharing my screen. Am I sharing my screen? Okay.
No.
I'm not. Thank you. Okay, here we are. So what you've all been waiting for, we've gotten lots of questions in the chat. I'm going to scroll through the chat and see what questions we've got. This is your time. We've got 15 minutes left this evening and really want to hear from you. I appreciate Keith Coleman putting his hand up. If you do want to speak out, if you will raise your hand, use the raise your hand feature or chat in and we'll call on you. We have 15 minutes until the webinar's over and we want you to have the opportunity to ask questions. So Keith, I'll let you ask the first question.
Thank you, Meredith. So with the July deadline, that's for the competition between Phi Beta Sigma and Sigma Gamma Rho. So who will be the winner? Is that correct?
No. No, I don't think so, Brother Coleman. No, I think that's for the March of Dimes Awards.
That's for the March of Dimes Awards. We have not determined the date that the challenge will end. So we'll get the dates of when the challenge will end out to you. We have not determined those dates yet.
Thank you.
Meredith, if you're looking through the chat, because I see a couple of questions.
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, I'm looking too, so you go ahead.
Okay, well, it's one here. Is the team captain the only one that can adjust the donations goal?
Yes, the team captain or the online administrator. So if there's any issues with assigning roles on marchforbabies.org, I would be your person to contact. So I will put my email in the chat and I will get back with you just as soon as I can to make those adjustments. But I can change it on the back end if you need that done. All right. Jeffrey, I like you.
Yeah, I was reading that.
Okay, is the team captain the one? Email me, call, okay. Naming convention for my chapter is good, but what about changing the team captain? So yes, a lot of you change team captains from year to year. So that's fine to change team captain. It is a leadership role. It should really be elevated. And you do not want a team captain who does not want to do it. You want somebody who wants to be the team captain and lead that chapter. So, some organizations, that's like a role that they nominate and vote who the team captain's going to be. So as the team captain changes each year, you will need to contact me to get the team captain changed if you cannot do it on your own on the website. And I'm happy to do that for you. What other questions do we have?
Okay, well, while you were looking for questions, I want to say, brothers, look, get the word out about this challenge. I can't stress that enough, okay? We need to beat Sigma Gamma Rho. So get the word out and get brothers involved, please, okay?
All right, John Campbell, if you'd like to go next, you have a question?
Yeah, my question was basically what Brother Williams was just saying. I asked further on up earlier in the chat, but what kind of numbers is Sigma Gamma Rho posting on the average annually? What's our target? What should we be looking at?
So last year they raised about 167,000. So about 30,000 more than you last year. So I know you can do it based on the trend reports that Carlos showed earlier. And we will get the dates of the challenge. Sigma Gamma Rho kicks off next week.
But
So,
hold on, but I gotta qualify that though. Look, last year was the first year that Sigma Gamma Rho beat us. Okay, and that was in the middle of a pandemic. Okay, so I know that when we all work together, we're gonna beat them. Okay, we've been beating them every year as far back as I can remember, except for last year.
Okay. Let's see. I have a chapter that created duplicate teams. We need to remove one of them. You'll need to contact me to remove them. For clarity, if an individual donates $100, they will receive a t-shirt. That's correct. That is not team money. That is an individual. So if I'm a member, if I'm on your team and I raise $100, I get the t-shirt. Every individual that raises $100 will get a t-shirt. That is correct. Where can we find the March for Babies app? The March for Babies app is out there, and a new app is coming out on the 15th, next Monday. And I would really be on the lookout for that, because there's going to be a bunch of exercise challenges on there with fundraising attached to them, which may be kind of cool, like step up challenges, like taking steps for babies and that sort of thing. So be on the lookout for the new app coming out very soon on March 15th. And I also will say that I would be on the lookout for a little bit of banter. You heard Chris Ray talk about reaching out to the president of Sigma Gamma Rho. So we're hoping that we can work with the communications team and get some of that out there as well to build it up.
Brother James is still asking about the app. I believe that the March for Babies app is in the App Store, be it iPhone or Android. I think you just have to search for it. Isn't that correct, Meredith?
That is correct. If you're not finding it though, it could be down for a short period of time while they do the upgrade on it.
Meredith, can we bring in Brother Hughes? He's on the call now, and he wanted to address the brothers.
That'd be great.
Go ahead, Brother Hughes. You're on mute. You're still, oh, there you go.
Okay, good. Good evening, everyone. Brother Carlos, I want to thank you for picking up the lion's share of this work while I've been dealing with some issues. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Meredith, it's always good to see you. Last year we did a bit over $130,000. And like you said, it was during a pandemic. I know that we can do so much better. There was at least one chapter that normally reigns supreme during the March of Dimes, that chapter out of Williamson County. I have a strong feeling that they'll be back. Just a couple of years ago, I believe they raised in excess of $17,000. So I see a couple of their members on. I've talked to the regional director of social action, so I know they'll be strong. I know Brother Cameron Shaw raised almost $4,000 by himself last year. So we've got some people. What we need from you brothers is to get involved, get other brothers involved. We need our leadership involved. And with that, I know 160,000, I know we can surpass that with no problem at all. I want you to know that we are going to be reaching out to the regions, to chapters. So be on the lookout for us to be coming at you, helping you out with whatever you need to attain the goals that you set. So just so glad to see you all here. And just like our new frat cards say, service. Service is what we do. So let's get at it, brothers.
Thank you, Brother Hughes. Thank you for that. And to remind everybody, Brother Hughes serves as the international co-chair with me. So he and I work together, and it's been a pleasure. Meredith?
Yes, so we have a couple questions about using the logo. Yes, you can use the logo. And we encourage you to do that. That's part of being, a partner with us, that you can use that. I was trying to find a link for you that I want to put in the chat, which I just got, and I'm going to chat it in. This link that I'm putting in the chat here will give you access to all sorts of resources. You'll have to click on it. It's going to give you resources. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going there. I'm taking you on a quick field trip. Do you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm taking you on a quick field trip. Okay, so this is what it takes you to, and all of these resources are available to you for you to post on Facebook timeline, for you to do tweets, for you to do Instagram. All of these resources are available. LinkedIn. So, and then it goes into our next campaign, Blanket Change, and all those resources. So Carlos, when I send out to all of you the presentation, I'm also going to send you the link to our social press kit. And that social press kit will give you access to the logos and those resources for you to use.
I think Brother Baisley had his hand up.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I did. And one of the big things is, in anything you have a core group where the energy is. And you guys on this call are really kind of the engine and the driver, those people who are the early adapters. We can send out emails all day, but you know how read rates are, open rates. You might have a 25% open rate on emails because you're inundated with it. But on your social medias, in all your asynchronous communications, you can influence people to get engaged, to get involved, especially those chapters that are smaller, because we have dominant chapters, and they're going to do that. But to tell brothers, hey, let's do this. Raise 300 for the founders. Set attainable milestones. It all helps. I've said this many times in the past, I'd rather have 300 from a chapter than nothing, because they felt the milestone, they felt what other chapters were doing out of their reach. If we had every chapter plugging in 300, we'd go very far, because the big chapters are going to do what they do. So talk to your circle of influence, put it on your social media, because people will follow that example and people will get energized. So you guys are the drivers. It starts at Meredith, it starts Carlos, starts at me, but you guys are the ones who will eventually, and it starts with the regional directors of social action state area, but it's the brothers in the chapters that will set the example and make the engagement exponential.
Absolutely. Such wonderful words. Thank you.
Do you see any more questions?
Yeah, we have 2 more minutes is what I see here. And I'm not seeing any more. I'm looking in the chat. I'm not seeing any more questions. I don't see any hands up.
So, Meredith, I have a question. So everyone that registered is on this call, right? So we have all of those email addresses, correct?
Yes, I can get them.
Okay, good.
Everybody that registered for the call, I have their email addresses. If people, yes, that's who I have.
Okay. Because we're gonna send them the slides and everything. So I just wanted to make sure we had everybody's email addresses.
Yes, I will have that tomorrow. My IT person has to pull it. I don't have the access to pull it. So I will send that email out tomorrow to everybody that registered, a link to the PowerPoint as well as a link to the social press kit.
Okay. Oh, and we're recording this meeting, and this recording will be available to brothers to share with their chapters as well.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Right. Are there any more questions, brothers? We must have did a really thorough job if we don't have any more questions.
Thank you all so much. It's so great to see you, even not in person. I hope you have a wonderful night and I appreciate all of your support. I feel the love. Have a good night.
All right, brothers, go Mob.